Hey friends, followers, Michael McFarland in the corner, in McFarland's corner right here. Going to give you the rundown, Lake Fork rundown for June 15th. Monday, June 15th. Here we go. Temperature, 82.3 upon launch, 6 a.m. in the morning. Main lake, subsurface temperature, 82.3. 2:30 in the afternoon, 88.3. Nice daily warm trend. It should be about 4 degrees, but we've had no wind whatsoever. Not really, just some light breezes. So we're getting a little bit more than normal. With last week's cold front, this is kind of catching us back up to where we were. Water clarity, 1 to 3 foot visibility with the Lake Fork green, which is what I love. It's a beautiful color. Starting to turn brown in a few areas, and that's that temperature. As that gets hotter, more bacteria content grows, the water will start to turn a little bit brown. Level, 402.85. We are slowly dropping. In a period of a couple days, that's about 3 inches a day right now. A couple of days, it was about 6 inches almost, not quite. Mostly municipal use. Now that we're as hot as we are beginning to have some evaporation. From what I've learned, what I've been told by SRA, is that we have about 1 inch a day in the summer, no matter what. 1/4 of that is rate of flow downstream. Another 1/4 of that is municipal source for the 4 surrounding counties. And the other half 1 inch a day, is absolutely from evaporation. We're in raw heat of summer right now. And some of these days when there's no wind like this, whew, it sure feels like it. It's kind of unusual for June. All right, if you're following on Instagram, The Lake Fork Guide on Instagram, Facebook, Mike McFarland, or my business page, Lake Fork Adventures Guide Service, then you already saw what happened this morning. I had a father and 2 sons, young boys, in fact. Neither one of them had ever used a bait caster before. They're bait cast champions now, let's call them. They've learned this morning how to use a bait caster. But before today, they were spinning rod and push button Zebco pros. We started out the day letting them use the spinning rods just to break the ice and get them going. Fishing was fair today. We had about 7 fish in the boat probably before 9 o'clock, with 3 of them being beautiful Lake Fork specials, right in the 5-pound range. The boys are the ones that caught those bigger fish. Dad caught some slots and some cookie cutters, but it was really cool to see those young boys attack Lake Fork and do as well as they did for being beginners. So that should help any of you that are experienced right now. Even though we've had some cold fronts and low wind or no wind conditions, it's been a grind. But when 2 young men like that, young boys can grind, so can you. So don't be afraid to come out here and grind on Lake Fork. It's worth it. All right, what am I doing? Today, the trick was the cutter worm. I have found on these slick days that it's tough, obviously. Everybody knows that. But they really go to the wood. They get in the ditches, drains, they get in the wood, they get in the trees, and they get in the brush piles. So today, majority of the fish that we caught came on a light, very light, 1/8 ounce tungsten, pegged, 3-odd offset hook, and the plum colored Strike King cutter worm. Okay, 6-inch cutter worm. That really did the damage today. 6 of the 7 fish were caught on that bait. The biggest fish of the day was caught by a whaling. And again, you already saw that if you follow on Instagram or Facebook. And of course, that was caught on a Santone football jig. We've changed the color on you now. We're throwing the peanut butter and jelly. I tip it with the regular 3-inch rage crawl. Sometimes I'll throw the 4-inch rage lobster. But 3/4 ounce Santone football jig, PB&J, peanut butter and jelly. And again, now I'm fishing in about 12 to 16 feet of water seems to be the bite. But it has to be wood. It has to be brush piles. It's main lake points with brush piles and ditches and drains with trees. Okay. They're suspending in the trees and they're getting in the brush piles. You have to make contact with the wood and you have to fish slow. Okay. that's the gist of what we did on Monday. I have the boys again tomorrow. Please pay attention. I may not do a rundown tomorrow night. I'll come back with a rundown for you on Wednesday. But anyways, the lake's in great shape. We're kind of coming to the end of the season. I only have a handful of select July dates, and I'm only offering half-day trips only for the rest of the year. When we get maybe September, October, and we cool down, I'll go back to doing some full-day trips. But right now we're cut out, half-day only. If you want to get on Fork and get you some of this good offshore fishing, then July is awesome. The morning bites are incredible. The evening bites can even be more incredible. And I do either. But holler at me, get on the books. Appreciate you watching. Remember, give me a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Any questions, write them below. Any pictures, send them to me. I got some guys sending me some great pics lately. I love it. I'm so pleased to see that just stinky little old me, the fisherman, the advice I give is paying out and you're catching fish. So appreciate you so much. Thank you all for following and watching. I'm Michael McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide, giving you the Lake Fork Rundown.